know, maybe not. Well, I want to get more on this story, and I'm joined now by Myron Brilliant. He's the head of the International Affairs for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And I want to switch gears and ask about U.S. businesses and what they wanted to hear from this meeting with Mr. Trump and Mrs. May.
Well, Samara, what I would say at the outset is I think it's very telling that Prime Minister May was the first foreign leader to visit President Trump in the White House. What that underscores is the special relationship, and a huge aspect of this relationship is the economic relationship between the two countries. You already have discussed some of the perimeters of that relationship. I just would say that when you're talking about $600 billion invested by U.S. companies in Britain and some $450 billion invested in our country by UK companies, you can understand there are millions of jobs in this relationship, and there's a huge economic partnership. What we're pleased about is that there's an opportunity to grow this relationship, and we've been proponents that the United States and the United Kingdom talk about how we can do that, and a free trade agreement is one of those opportunities. Today we announced that we have launched a U.S.-UK Business Council to be a platform to support the two governments and the private sectors, and of course to take note of the fact that the UK is engaged in negotiations with Europe on the Brexit, and we have strong interest not just with the UK but Europe as a whole.
But you know, both leaders are really out to try and secure some new bilateral trade deals. But aren't those bigger multi-country trade agreements, aren't those better?
Well, what I've said all week when asked this question is this. President Trump is committed to a growth agenda. He wants to develop our economy. He wants to grow our economy. He wants to create jobs here. He wants to promote exports. What I think is really most important is that we pursue commercially meaningful deals, that we create the models in these deals that are going to have the highest possible standards, strongest intellectual property protections, strongest cooperation around regulatory issues, and that we deal with disciplines on subsidies and other issues. And so whether that's done bilaterally, regionally, or multilaterally, that's what we're going to look at. And of course, we want these agreements to be enforceable. And so it makes a lot of sense for President Trump and his economic team to be looking at the United Kingdom, where we have a lot of shared values, but we can grow this relationship, and at the same time we can create a model for other countries as well. So they're going to pursue a lot of different avenues. We cannot forget that the president does not yet have his economic team in place, and it will take time for him to develop his full strategy.
Myron